Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnevasi, Jai Samvidhan, Jai Bharat. Today is Sunday, and as usual, every Sunday we are organizing the special session in English. And recently, you know that there was a budget session which had been given by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, and it's time to discuss this budget specifically from the marginalized section point of view, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and other backward classes, and the converted minorities point of view. What exactly they had got in this union budget 2024-25. So we thought of discussing this particular topic, and today we had eminent guest with us. He is an economist and social thinker, both the ways, and he is going to deliver today his speech or his views on the current session of what exactly has been happened in this session. So basically, today we had with us Professor Dr. P.S. Kamble sir, and he's going to explain about this Union Budget 2024 and 2025. What exactly we had got, what exactly the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other backward classes had got. So without wasting time, let me welcome Dr. P.S. Kamble sir to our studio. Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnevasi sir, and welcome to MNT News Network.
Thank you very much. First of all,
so basically today we are going to discuss about.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Basically, recently, whatever this Union Budget 2024-2025, it was announced and it was discussed in the Parliament. So basically, today's topic is what exactly the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and other backward classes had got through this budget, and what are the allocations from the previous budget to this budget. Is there any improvement or downfall, or how any impact is there from this budget? These all questions are there in the mind of people. So with the help of you, we would like to know, as an economist, how do you see this particular aspect from the social aspect particularly, how this Union Budget 2024 and 2025 stands for. Please, sir, please elaborate on this topic.
First of all, Ashish, I'm very thankful to you for organizing such a wonderful program on just recently presented Union Budget for 2024-25. Nowadays, awareness and knowledge education about public budget is increasing, and everybody is looking at budget, what budget is going to give, or how it is going to benefit, how it is going to benefit the society or different groups of the society as well. And therefore, the study of budget analysis, examination, and finding implications is of crucial importance. And therefore, MNT English, I'm very much thankful to you. I'm thankful to Ashish, and I'm thankful to all the audience who have joined online, and in future also audience will join. First of all, so far as budget is concerned, actually budget is a document of government policy, especially budgetary policy. And budgetary policy is part and parcel of the development policy of any country or any economy. It is a constitutional document, because to prepare budget and to present budget is provided in the Constitution of India, both for the central government as well as state government. And therefore, budget is a very important document, and it is part and parcel of development policy in general and fiscal or budgetary policy in particular. Talking about the budget for 2024-25, actually it is a supplementary budget. In February 2024, interim budget was prepared by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. But the distinction between these two budgets is that budget was only for 3 months, and this budget will be for 9 months. Therefore, its analysis, examination is of crucial importance. Yes, its analysis will be prominently in the perspective of social, but at the same time, I will try to place before you what is there in the budget and what social dimension can be there for the budget. And already Ashish mentioned how will be the beneficiary, or what benefits we scheduled caste, scheduled community, scheduled tribes, and other communities will derive so far as this budget is concerned. Basically, this budget is centered around the policy or the concept of developed India, that is Vikasit Bharat. We have decided to transform India, to emerge out India as a developed India by 2047. And this is the first budget of the present government. In the last tenure also, the same government was there. But suppose new elections took place, and when this government came into power, this is the first budget. And being a first budget, it shows that it is a beginning of marching towards developed or Vikasit India. And the budget is centered around Vikasit Bharat or developed economy. So first of all, I will try to place what is there in the budget, how it is centered around the Vikasit Bharat or developed India, and then I will move towards the social dimension of this budget. Now, talking about this budget, what is there in the budget? Some provisions that I am trying to place before you, so as to understand what is there in the budget. Basically, this budget has a roadmap towards Vikasit Bharat, developed India. It is marching towards realization and achievement of developed India or Vikasit Bharat. It basically focuses on four pillars, or there are four pillars or foundations of this budget for 2024-25. And these pillars are: number one is farmer, another is poor, third is youth, and fourth is middle class. This budget is concentrating on four themes. Number one is employment, another is skilling, third is marginal and small and medium enterprises, and fourth is middle class. This budget has given priorities to nine areas, nine subjects. Number one is productivity and resilience in agriculture, in which it tries to achieve and realize agriculture development, for which it has a transforming agriculture research policy. It intends to achieve Atmanirbhar, self-reliance, especially in the production of oil seeds. Also tries to talk about vegetable production and its impact on supply chain. It also proposes to bring about new varieties of seeds of the agriculture produce and commodities. Also taking into account evil consequences of excessive use of chemical fertilizers and natural that insecticide pesticides. Also talks about natural farming so as to tackle the problems of salinity of land, then water logging, etc. Also tries to talk about production of shrimp and fishery and its export as well, and whatever digital infrastructure which is required, that is also this budget endeavors to develop it. The second priority of development, marching towards Vikasit Bharat or developed India in this budget, is employment and skilling. And for employment, Prime Minister package of three schemes is there, in which 1 month wage will be given up to 15,000 in three installments. And in addition to that, the government is also going to contribute provident fund of the employers for 2 years, and about 50 lakh jobs the government is going to generate. And in addition to that, skilling program this budget has prepared to be benefited for 20 lakh youth in the coming 5 year period. And industrial training institutes will be upgraded, modified, and high-tech will be provided. And industries will be motivated and modified in such a way in which design is required. Human resource development also and social justice also this budget tries to talk about, for which 3 lakh crore allocation is there for women and girls. And for this scheduled tribes, 5 crore tribal people will benefit, and 63,000 villages will be attached by these schemes and programs. 100 branches will be set up in of India Postal Bank, especially in northeastern region, and Andhra Pradesh is given a special treatment. This budget also talks about the development of manufacturing and service sector, in which it concentrates on micro, small, and medium enterprises to achieve development of manufacturing sector. In addition to that, it provides financial assistance to micro, small, medium enterprises. Mudra loans limitations have been increased, and thereby tries to provide for development of micro, small, medium enterprises. In addition to which, this also tries to develop flood irrigation development, flood control, and safety. This is what the provision is there regarding manufacturing and service. The budget also intends to provide internship facility. This internship facility to the 1 crore youth in the coming 5 years in the 500 top companies or industries that is there. In addition to that, 5,000 rupees per month stipend will be given to the internship students, and 6,000 in one time it will be given through corporate social responsibility that is there. Urban development is also given priority by this budget for the development, in which some reduction in stamp duty, incentives and motivations for street markets, and some transport related development will take place. Water supply and wastewater management will be endeavored, and also in urban area some housing facility will be provided, for which Pant Pradhan Awas Yojana 2 urban, for urban area has been proposed, under which 1 crore poor people will be benefited. That provision is there. Some attempts or provisions are there relating to energy security, uh, nuclear energy through private sector, then solar energy audit is expected to take place, and to provide adequate energy facility, that thermal power plant with the combination or joint efforts of NTPC and BHEL will be provided. Some solar energy will be provided free of cost to some of the poor people that is there. This budget tries to give focus on infrastructure facility, and for which 11,11,101 crore rupees has been provided, which comes at 3.4% of GDP. In addition to that, 1.5 lakh crores loans will be given to states for infrastructure development. That provision is there. And Prantu Pradhan Gram Sadak Yojana, for which also provision is there. But in addition to that, the development of irrigation facilities and flood control measures is also provided in this budget. The budget also tries for tourism. Basically, it is a religious tourism. Vishnupad temple to corridor, Mahabodhi temple corridor, and Kashi Vishwanath temple corridor. These are some provisions are there. It has given some incentives to Nalanda and Nalanda University to develop as a tourist center. That provision is there. In addition to that, innovation, research, development, those provisions are there, so as to bring about innovation, research and development activities will be carried out, for which 1 lakh crore provision has been made. In the coming future, the government will also try for development of space economy, for which 1,000 crore provision is there. Some next generation reform this budget intends, especially rural and urban land relations, then also map divisions and land records, etc., and development of foreign direct investment attraction. These are some of the provision that is there. This is what this budget talks about, that is there. But in addition to that, some tax provisions are also there in the budget, and the tax provisions, especially this budget has introduced capital gains tax for short-term gains, and also increase the rate of capital gains for long-term gains also, and some custom duties has been increased, and some income tax reforms also have been brought about. Some standard deviation has been increased both for the employee as well as pension. Those provisions are also there. For me, what is important, it is important to speak on what provisions are there relating to expenditure. That is of crucial importance for me. For example, this budget has increased the expenditure on Manrega, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Program, from 60,000 in the previous year to 86,000 in the 24-25. On research and development, from 840 crores to 12,000, that provision is there. For nuclear power, provision is increased to 2,228 crore from 142. Some pharmaceutical industry provision has been made 1200 to 2143. And also in addition to that, provision for manufacturing has been made from 4,970 crore to 10,000, and direct benefit transfer has been increased from 180 crore to 1,500 crore. These provisions are there. So far as the fiscal position of the government in this budget is concerned, revenue receipts will increase from 2,72,000, 27 lakh 28,402 crore to 31,029 200 crore. Capital receipts will increase from 17 lakh 14,130 crore to 16 lakh 91,312 crore. That is a reduction in capital receipts is there that will reduce some loan burden of the government of India. But total capital receipts will increase from 44 lakh 42,542 to 48 lakh 20,512. So total receipts will increase. Total expenditure will increase 44 lakh 42,542 to 48 lakh 20,512. Revenue expenditure will increase from 34 lakh 94,036 to 37 lakh 9,401. Capital expenditure also will increase from 94 lakh 85,006 to 11 lakh 1 crore 11 lakh 11,101. That expenditure is increased. Uh, Capital expenditure will increase, but at the same time, this budget has provided for decrease in revenue deficit, decrease in effective revenue deficit, decrease in fiscal deficit. Take example, fiscal deficit will decrease from 5.6% to 4.9%, and primary deficit will decrease from 2% to 1.4%. That provision is also there. But in addition to that, what is necessary to be discussed is that in this budget, expenditure on subsidies has been decreased. Expenditure on fertilizer subsidy, food subsidy, and petroleum subsidy has been decreased. It has evil consequences. Provision for education is limited compared to the previous year. It is limited increase in expenditure on education is there. For health also, limited provision is increase is there in health expenditure that is there. In addition to that, this budget transfers from the government of India to the states through the recommendations of Finance Commission. Those are also limited. Those are also decreased. That is what we found. Provision for rural development is also a little bit increase is there. A small increase is there. And in addition to that, provision for development of scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, OBCs, EWS, it is there, but it is just marginal, which is expected and desirable in proportion of population, but that is not there. That is what. Talking about employment, some employment generation will be there from especially informal sector. Some formal sector employment will be there, but from public sector employment, this budget doesn't talk about how will be the employment generation in public sector or government of India sector. In addition to that, in the beginning only, this budget talks about poverty or poor people. But in this budget, no provisions are there how the problem of poverty can be tackled, problem of tackle poverty can be overcome. Because as per the Sustainable Development Goals, the first goal is zero poverty. And by 2030, we have to realize and achieve that goal. And we have only 6 years at our hand. And as per the poverty line defined by C. Rangarajan, and also multidimensional poverty index, and recently by the Niti Aayog as well, crores of people are below the poverty line, both considering poverty line as well as multidimensional poverty index. When that is taken into account, how it is possible to tackle the problem of poverty that has not been answered by this budget. No provisions are there whereby rigorous, sincere, honest provisions can be there, as the result of which poverty can be restricted, poverty can be reduced, and at the same time that can help us in realizing zero poverty by 2030. Talking about uh, uh, employment, some employment will take place, but problem of unemployment is severe because as per the latest data, about 10% rate of unemployment is there. And economic theory tells us that rate of unemployment should be 3%, which is known as natural unemployment. And the rate of unemployment differs from rural to urban, from male to female, and also for across the social groups as well. And this tackling of the problem of employment generation and unemployment is of crucial importance because India is young India. APJ Abdul Kalam, former president of India, wrote one book, Economic Supremacy of India by 2020. And question was asked to APJ Abdul Kalam, how it is possible to realize economic supremacy by 2020. He justified and he gave answer that India is a young India. In the age group 17 to 29, more than 60% population is there, and youth India, young India, is the engine of growth. When it is used productively, efficiently, definitely India will be converted into economically supreme country, and that can be benefited. But by 2020, it didn't become possible. And the reason is simple. The reason is that productive use of youth or this human resource is not taking place. The problem of unemployment is severe, and this employment is only formal employment, and formalization of formal employment is also taking place, and consequently that is becoming a hurdle to tackle the problem of unemployment, and consequently to realize and achieve this tackling of the problem of unemployment, and consequently the problem of poverty is also not taking place. It is a well-known fact that in the beginning also this budget has given a figure that in the year 2024 GDP of India grew at the rate of more than 8%. To convert Indian economy, to transform Indian economy into developed or Vikasit Bharat, double-digit growth is required. So 8% growth is not sufficient and adequate. In that perspective, there is a need for increasing growth of Indian economy, and especially agriculture is given priority, but provisions are not there whereby agriculture development can be speeded up. uh, Poverty is given priority, poor is given priority, but the provisions are not there so far as poverty can be eliminated and poor can be sustained. Their improvement in their living can take place. Definitely, there is a provision on expenditure on social welfare, but it is just marginal increase is there, and provision for the development of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBCs, and EWs it is just marginal. It is marginal when it should be logically in proportion of the population, but it is not there. And provision on education is meager only, that will hinder the growth and development of education, because education is very important. It's a effective effective means of rapid and all-round socio-economic development of the economy. And we are implementing national education policy. We want to realize and achieve in 200 qualitative universities. Again, our enrollment ratio is lesser, especially in higher education. It is only 27. And again there is a disparity between rural and urban and across the social groups also. So more attention towards the education is also required. COVID pandemic has given a lesson how we are neglecting health, and how that can be problematic, how that can be challenging to tackle the problem of health if such emergencies or such diseases any country faces. In this perspective, when we look at it is found that budget is concentrating, it is centralized towards the Vikasit Bharat, towards the developed India. But provisions which are required for conversion of the present Indian economy into developed Indian economy, Vikasit Bharat, is very difficult, and that provisions are not there. This budget talks about agriculture, but agriculture provisions are not there. Provisions are not there that will speed up and endeavor agriculture development. Provision for industry commerce is meager only, and unless and until we realize and achieve industrial development, it's not possible to convert Indian economy into a developed economy or Vikasit Bharat. Same is the case of health sector and education sector also. For us, social welfare is of crucial importance. Welfare of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBCs, minorities, and provision is very meager. Provision is very meager. Just a little bit increase is there, but that is not sufficient and that is not adequate. More provision is necessary for the development of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBCs, minorities. It is required, and some reforms relating to taxes have been introduced, custom duties have been decreased, income tax, some provisions are there, standard deduction has been increased for the employees. But those who will be new entrants, that will benefit. But those who are senior and those who are already entered, for them it is not much beneficial. But the capital gains tax has been increased on short term gains, and on long term gains also the capital gains tax has been increased. If that is the case, more importance is necessary to be given to education. More importance was necessary to be given to health. In this perspective, on yes, even this budget intends to realize and achieve Vikasit Bharat by 2047. The required provisions are not there. Only referring agriculture is not sufficient and adequate. Only referring farmer is not sufficient and adequate. Necessary provisions and policies are there, but those are lacking. And consequently, the intention or purpose for which this budget is endeavoring for Vikasit Bharat, that cannot be served. Actual provisions for the development of agriculture are required, farmers are required, poor people are referred, but no provisions are there whereby poverty can be removed. And by 2030, we have to realize zero poverty. Education front also we are lagging in sustainable development goal. Also, qualitative education and access to education to all, that is required, but that is missing. Again, some provisions are there like regarding women development and child development, but those are just provisions. Much significant growth is not there. If that is taken into account, I want to place before you the agenda for which it is necessary to bring about in the forthcoming days, so far as reforms in the budget is concerned. Number one, agriculture development should be given more emphasis. Only emphasis is not sufficient and adequate. More provisions are necessary for the development of agriculture and farmers. A rigorous policy is required for the poverty removal. Only referring of the poor is not sufficient and adequate. How poverty can be removed, how it can be zero by 2030, that is necessary. And unless and until in that direction, modifications and corrections are made by 2030, the realization of zero poverty is not possible. Education is neglected to that extent. More provisions are required. Teachers should get more project, teachers should get infrastructure, teachers should get going for conferences. Those facilities are required. Nowadays it is more or less stopped. That higher education and research is necessary to be endeavored. Provision on health is very much necessary, because health can be by backbone or overall development of the human being and economy as a whole. So more health provision is required. In addition to that, social welfare should be given priority. Unless and until whatever growth that takes place, it is distributed equally or more equally among the people, that growth has no meaning at all. What is happening in India, growth is taking place. 2024 data has been given by this budget and economy survey also. It grew at the at the rate of 8%. But inequalities are growing very rapidly and significantly. As per the World Inequality Report 2024, 50% poor families, their share in national income is less than 6%. And 50% poor families, their share in national wealth is about 6%. On the contrary, 20% people, richest people, their share in national education, national income is more than 60%. And 20% rich poor, their share in national wealth is about 67%. If that is taken into account on the one hand, employment generation is not taking place on the other. So unemployment is at higher level, poverty is there. In such a situation, social phase is necessary to be given to the budget. Yes, we should try for Vikasit Bharat, we should try for developed India, but at the same time, the development should be inclusive, that development should be in social perspective, that development should be for the welfare of all the people, should be welfare of all the society, and the provisions which are there for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBCs, minorities, those are just meager. Those should be in proportion of at least population. If that is taken into consideration in the real sense of meaning, yes, it is better, it is always a welcome step moving towards the Vikasit Bharat, developed India, but at the same time, it is more important to distribute the benefits of developed economy to the deprived communities, to the downtrodden communities like scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBCs, minorities, and concentrating on rural areas is of crucial importance. Tackling of the problem of unemployment, inequality, poverty is of crucial importance. Welfare of women, children, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBCs is of crucial importance, and more importance to be given to education development, health development. Some totality of that space is there to bring about changes and reforms in the present budget that has been announced. The discussion is going on in the parliament. If in that direction the discussion takes place, and some of the provisions what I try to place before you that will be incorporated in the real sense of meaning, that will be more relevant budget, that will be more social face budget, that will be more socially relevant budget, and that will serve the purpose of what we call it as a socially inclusive growth, what we call it as a social welfare budget, and those provisions are required. This budget will get 9 months period. It is longer period. Only 3 months have been spent. But whatever remain that can be incorporated in the coming budget, in the forthcoming budget, that will be a full budget for 25-26. If in that direction the budgets are, the provisions are made, efforts are made, then only this budget will be in the real sense of meaning a social budget, the budget for the society, the budget for the welfare of the society, the budget for the welfare of the uh, uh, deprived communities. That will happen. Otherwise, this will be a budget. Again, this will increase inequalities. Again, this will not tackle the problem of employment. This will not tackle the problem of unemployment, will not tackle the problem of poverty. These are the challenges before Indian economy. Challenges relating to education are there. Challenges relating to health are there. Challenges relating to recruitment are there. Only informalization of employment is not sufficient and adequate. It has no social security. It has no any assured benefits like that. So employment should be formal. Employment should be in public sector. At least public private should go in hand. If in that direction efforts are being made, and in the passage of time, in the coming time period, if the efforts are made to bring about changes in this budget, modifications in this budget will be more social, this budget will be more effective, this budget will be more social welfare maximizing, and those efforts are required so far as bringing changes in the budget. And there is a space, significant space is there to bring about changes, modifications in the present budget that is there. Over to you, Ashish. Over
Thank
to
you very
you.
much, sir. You had within stipulated time, you had given a very elaborate explanation on the budget and what exactly provisions are being made and what are required. And specifically, as far as the 85% of the marginalized section is considered, very less efforts has been made. Though they had given the emphasis, but no provisions are there. Without provisions, nothing can be developed, and without schemes nothing can be developed. So still there is a room to develop, room to improve, and if this improvement happens, then only justice will be done towards these marginalized sections, because the health, education, and employment, these are the prioritized requirements of the citizens of India. And if proper policies are not framed up, then definitely it is going to hamper the overall development of the country. And the overall, what you are saying is the goal of Viksit Bharat may not be achieved by 2030 if the schemes are not there and schemes are not implemented. And schemes will get implemented only if budget is there. So definitely much more requirements needs to be done, and hope that the government and the opposition parties they take care of these particular issues in the parliament, and they work towards developing their own states as well as the overall country as an India. With this hope, I'm really very much thankful to you for sparing your time and elaborating our viewers on the perspective of this budget 2024-2025. And within very stipulated time, we had very means covered almost all the points of this budget, and what provisions also can be made, that also you had highlighted. So on behalf of MNT Network, I am really thankful to you for joining us today, and
Thank
hope
you.
in
Thank
coming
you very much.
days
Thanks a
you
lot.
will
It's
be.
my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank
So
you.
it was
Thank you.
Professor P.S. Kamble sir along with us who explained us about the overall requirements in the budget as far as the social aspect is considered, and definitely he had pinpointed out the requirements, and if these requirements are fulfilled, then definitely it will be beneficial for the citizens of India, and particularly for the marginalized section, because if health is improved, if education is improved, if unemployment is improved, then definitely the overall country will get developed and improved. This is how even the viewers of the MNT network, they have to think, they have to pressurize their local MLAs, MPs, and they have to raise this voice. Unless the people raise their voice, nothing can be done. So it's time to raise your voice and explain the people, because people's mandate, if it stands in your views, then definitely the policies can be framed up. So it's time to the viewers that they should take this discussion in proper forum, in proper way, and explain the requirements as explained by Dr. P.S. Kamble sir in today's discussion. So I hope that you all will take care of this particular issue, and you will discuss these particular issues that were delivered by Kamble sir, and you will spread this particular awareness within the society, so that they will come to know what they have to do, so that the overall development or overall beneficiaries can be on their way. Thank you very much for joining today. Tomorrow at 8:30 we will be again welcoming you, and tomorrow there will be a session in Hindi, and specifically the offshoot being Mul Nivasi Sangh. They are going to they are organized one national level campaign, and they are gathering in Delhi in the coming days. So let us try to understand what are their demands and why they are agitating towards their development. So the topic is मूल निवासी संघ द्वारा दिल्ली में होने वाला क्या है जन आंदोलन. So we had specifically invited Mulnivasi Sonali Kanekar ji, who is National Media Secretary of Mulnivasi Sangh from Bangalore, and she will be elaborating on this particular Jan Andolan, what exactly it is. So we will be there at 8:30 tomorrow. So thank you very much for joining today, and this particular video will be there on this particular link. So do share this video within your social circle, and spread the awareness as elaborated by Dr. P.S. Kamble sir. Thank you very much for joining today. Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi, Jai Samvidhan, Jai Bharat.